Hey guys! Hey ma! Back at it again pretending you still have a life. Please don't kill me, Impika. So one day, not that long ago, I was just chilling, looking at random images of pink magical girls online because why the heck not? And well, I found this. When I first saw this, it was an image of the protagonist from MGES, Magical Girl Site. And when I read the title, I was really confused, and I decided to look at it. And when I read it, it was utterly the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I was wondering if I should or shouldn't talk about this because, well, the article hasn't been updated since May 24th, but I got so mad with the article that I just couldn't not talk about it. Just a few disclaimers for anybody who's new to my channel. I mean, my channel just started, but that doesn't matter. This is the first work I have seen by this author. So this isn't a bias. It's just me stating my thoughts about the article. The author has been on this website for a while. I saw a lot of suggested articles under her name. She writes a lot about magical girls. I'm pretty sure her other works are good, but this is the only one I've seen, so I can assure you that this is not off of a bias. Secondly, I will not be stating the author's name just because I feel like if I do, that might lead to some harassment, and I don't want to do that to a person who was stating her opinion, and I'm just stating mine. So yeah. And thirdly, this is my 6th video. Please spare me on the quality. So without further ado, let's read the article. Oh, and by the way, Miss Author, if you're watching this, you know who you are. So the article starts off with giving a very, very short and brief history of magical girls, where they came from, yada, 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 all that Sailor Moon crap. And then she says one of the most interesting things I've seen in this article by far. I say were because outside of reboots of older shows, nobody is making new magical girl shows anymore. Yeah, I see what you mean. Also, yes, I am aware that Pretty Cure is in the photo, and you're wondering if that counts as a reboot. I read further into the article. It doesn't. You occasionally see the idea of magical girls pop up, but in darker and edgier anime, which are action and horror oriented, they may have some tropes in common with the original magical girl genre, but only to deconstruct, parody, or subvert those tropes. This turns a genre once known for being saccharine and appealing to young girls into something action horror oriented, gridmark, and appealing to older male and female teenagers and adults. Alright guys, let's check out all the new magical girl edgy animes that have come out this year. We got Magical Girl Site, which caused this article to exist in the first place. Six Heart Princess, which I'm dying to see, but I don't know if I can because I've been told it's impossible to find. And that's it. And then it continues off into giving a brief recap into something that literally nobody will shut the fuck up about. Puella Magi Madoka Magica, or PMMM. I'm not going to talk about this because all you need to do is just research any episode and you'll know why it's so popular. And then we start getting some bullcrap. But the theory of media, I believe, is that media is not a conspiracy. It's not top down. Changes in kind of media produced and kinds of stories we tell almost always have to do with the changes in what the buying public want. And then storytellers simply create art and literature that reflects what the people want. I'm skipping part of the second paragraph that I will be showing because it's just referring to 9/11, which is an event that actually doesn't need to be talked about right now. There are some anime names that I don't know how to pronounce here, so if I pronounce it wrong, I apologize. Evangelion, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Puella Magi Madoka Magica, Death Note, and Kill la Kill are just a few examples on how the encroaching global darkness on what had been a previously sunny world, at least in the richer countries, changed anime. Oh sure, dark and edgy anime existed prior to this, but it was more niche and less mainstream. Except there were something called channels where the stuff that was mainstream depended on what channel you went to. Mainstream anime was brighter in tone. Anime we remember now as good from past, like Akira, or retroactive hits which flopped at the time. People's perceptions change, and then they considered good about past also change. When times get harder, people start to become more cynical and critical. In good times, you see people liking black and white morality, power fantasies about defeating some inhuman evil entity and earning some kind of love interest favor. People want cutest fantasy worlds where bad things don't happen, and when they do, the heroes are there to save the day, making everything right at the end. In the 2000s, as we saw, as I mentioned, the three horsemen of economic despair, environmental woes, and war in the Middle East appear on the scene, we saw a darker turn for all mass media storytelling. This included literature, music, comic books, movies, and anime. Bleak was in and Saturine was out, unless you wanted to parody it. South Park and Family Guy and Western animation did just that, taking shots at cheerfulness of pop culture past. Superheroes went from being morally oh my goodness, I can English, infallible good guys to being morally flawed, questionable human beings who made mistakes. As Batman became popular in the film The Dark Knight, this trend is still continuing. For example, The Last Jedi is a critical, cynical look at the morally binary of the old Star Wars trilogy, and Avengers Infinity War features a bleak ending and a humanized villain. When Mommy's the blonde chick, by the way, was decapitated in the third episode of PMMM, it sent a clear message.
This will happen to magical girl shows too.
Is that what they were trying to say? I thought they were trying to tell a story, not just punching the media in the face and just being like, this will happen to magical girl shows too. Is the magical girl genre broken forever? No. It wasn't even broken in the first place. Skipping. But it's sad to think that nobody is producing a new lighthearted magical girl show. Oh my god. That all we're going to see is the genre is deconstruction, darker tone versions, and parodies. There have been nostalgia reboots, proof that Precure doesn't count, of old shows if they were popular enough, but any new show in Magical Girls has this air of bleakness and fudge. Inescapable, inevitable pain that old Magical Girl shows did not have. Maybe as the world changed, the way we see magic in fiction also changed. Maybe we used to see magic similarly to how we see electricity. What? Electricity was once seen as a marvel for what it was made possible. Now all we see are the darker sides of producing and using it. pollution,
Okay.
child labor,
Wait.
exploitation,
Hold it.
light pollution,
Calm
nuclear
down.
accidents,
I
and
said
so
calm
on.
down.
So now fiction focuses mainly on the darker sides of using magic. 1. We don't only see the dark sides of using electricity. People make a living off of it. It helps scientists with their research. It helps doctors with their patients. It helps Ohio weathermen. So you know it's serious. Scanning the weather. Heck, you even written an article online and that took up electricity. Yes, there are dark sides to using it, but we don't only see those sides. Secondly, how we view electricity has absolutely nothing to do with how we view magic, how literature views magic, how the media in general views magic. That transition made no sense whatsoever. But what I worry about is that nobody seems interested in making anything new and smart for little girls. Disney seemed very interested last I checked. They don't seem to be an important demographic in anime anymore. Hold it! You said nobody, not Japan. There's a difference. Similarly, in Western animation, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic quickly became popular with adults, and their fandom of the show quickly overshadowed the idea that the show was for little girls. Excuse me? First of all, are you in the FIM fandom? Because after reading that, I'm pretty sure you have no idea what goes on in there. Before I continue on with this, you said fandom, not Hasbro. You know, the people who's actually making the show and is shoving the merchandise down our face. They know this show is for little girls, which is why they're shoving the merchandise down our face. And anyway, as a Pegasus sister, I can tell you that your point is completely invalid. I would openly admit that I am very confused at the Pika-Mina creepypasta and the Rainbow Factory as a very dark fan fiction, and we have the most interesting fan art in the history of the world, but we didn't forget. As far as I'm aware, we have the greatest, most loving fandom I have ever seen in the history of the universe, and you clearly don't know that that's what this is. The only reason we write the stories we write is the same reason everybody else writes fiction. It's because they've seen a story with these types of characters, and they decided to present it to the internet. Is nothing made for little girls anymore. We're still doing this? Or have we decided to stop sheltering the innocence of little girls, acknowledging that even they are not stupid and can enjoy things with more mature and morally complex plot? Alright, kids, you see those characters you know and love on that TV show? They ain't real, and everything they do isn't real, and you do not have the potential to do anything similar to them. They actually all die at the end because death is inevitable. And unicorns aren't real. Life sucks, kids. Enjoy it while it lasts. Woman! When a show, especially a kid show, breaks away from their usual formula to tell a darker story, it is either to relate to the audience or to teach a lesson. And they're still doing that today! What is wrong with you? I'm fine. Look, I get it. This woman is just scared that we're never gonna see something cheerful again. But, magical girls are just one of those things that are never ending, like Scooby-Doo. It will always improve, but it will never be without its problems. Just like the stuff I'm showing you right now. I understand your feelings a little bit, but I feel like this was a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, I exaggerated my points a little bit too much, but still. Anyway, guys, I'm Ma. As always, thank you for watching this review/rant. Very big rant. Yeah, I am glad I got this out of my system. Let me see. What I have planned for this channel is that I'm planning on reviewing Big Hero 6 soon enough, and Vampirina sometime in October, so look forward to that. Thanks for watching, and as always, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, share. I don't even care. Until next time, bye-bye! So the article starts off with just giving a very, very short history of fudge.